For my walking survey, I went to Ganyard Elementary. The school looked like it was in great shape. Everything looked perfectly intact and they had nice landscaping. On the corner across the street from the school was a barber shop. There was a church right next to the school. The surrounding area looked like it was inhabited by middle-class citizens. The houses were nice, but not super fancy, and for the most part, they looked pretty well kept up on. When I first got there, school was just about to be let out, so there were tons of parents waiting in cars or standing outside waiting to greet their kids. They had a nice-looking playground right by the parking lot. It had tons of stuff for kids to do. The school looked really nice on the outside, but how did it look on the inside? The school was covered in lots of bright colors, and the walls seemed to be covered in artwork. Artwork that was either made by the students or painted on the walls. The school had inspirational banners hung from the ceilings around the school, and also quotes on the walls. Everywhere you looked, there were bulletin boards, either informational or decorative ones. Some of the bulletin boards even had students' assignments. Sometimes you could even see their assignments hanging on the walls. The school also had a few display cases with random goodies in them. I also saw lots of supplies scattered around the hallways. The students have a nice big gym with semi-squishy floors to play in. It even has a rock climbing wall. The bathrooms looked comfortable enough for adults and the kids. The school had a nice library with lots of tables and chairs, lots of books, and a couple of little reading corners. The cafeteria looked to be the perfect size, not too big, not too small, and had the perfect amount of tables. In the cafeteria, it looked like they had a small little music corner with lots of instruments and games. Outside of the cafeteria, they had a nice collection of lost items. When it came down to classrooms, no two classrooms were exactly alike. Each classroom seemed to be covered in its own artwork, from the ceiling to the floor. The classrooms even had sinks for the students to wash their hands in. It seemed like the teachers really liked to have little reading corners. Some classrooms even had computers for the students to use. The school had one room for their attendance office and principal office. They had a little janitorial office/closet and a nice staff lounge. I would have to say this looks like one of the most fun elementary schools I've ever seen.